Hey everybody, this is NQ Productions here, and welcome back to NQ Archives. It's been a while since the previous episode, and you guys seem to really enjoy this series. So today, we're coming back to the series where I take a look at some of my older videos to see whether or not they retain the same quality as they did when I uploaded them so many years ago, or to see whether or not the quality has increased or decreased over time. For today's episode of NQ Archives, we're looking at one of my older videos from 2017. It's one of the first animations that I ever created. It's also a video that has more than 100,000 views, and it's a video that prompted me to create one of my most successful videos of all time. So as some of you may have guessed, the video I'm talking about today is my 2017 Death of Purple Guy animation. So for those of you who don't know, the Death of Purple Guy was an animation that I released back in January of 2017. It was the third animation that I ever created and was the second animation that I ever uploaded to YouTube. At the time when the video was released, this was the biggest animation that I ever created because it had the most detail than any other animation at the time. But obviously because the video came out 3 years ago, the animation hasn't really aged all that well, especially when you compare the animation style of the remastered version. However, for this video, I'm not going to compare the quality of the original animation to my remastered version, because I feel like that would be a little bit unfair, since my animation skills have greatly improved over the last 3 years. I'm just going to review the Death of Purple Guy animation as a standalone video. So if you want to talk about issues with my 2017 Death of Purple Guy animation, there's a pretty big elephant in the room that you can mention. The fact is that the video is completely silent from frame 1 to the very end. However, there is a reason why there is no music, sound effects, or voice acting in this video. At the time, I didn't know how to put music or sound effects into Windows Movie Maker at the time. Come on, 2017 me, you didn't know how to put music or sound effects into Movie Maker? Movie Maker is an extremely simplistic editing program. Like honestly, it just makes me extremely frustrated that at the time I didn't know how to put music, sound effects, or voice acting into Windows Movie Maker when it's such a simplistic editing program. It just... So yes, having no sound in the video is a pretty big problem. But is everything else at least good? Well, kinda. First of all, the lip syncing is actually pretty decent. It was the first time I ever did lip syncing for an animated video, and for the first time, I actually did a pretty decent job. And also, the animation isn't actually that bad. Sure, some of the character designs are pretty messy, some of the movements aren't realistic, but there's a couple of things in the animation that don't really make much sense. But for the most part, the animation is passable. It's definitely not good animation, but it's not terrible animation. One thing I also noticed is that since there's no dialogue in this video, I added some text boxes to the video, and they're much easier to read than Stick Figure Fighting Tournament 1's, due to the fact that they're on screen for much longer. So in general, the 2017 Death of Purple Guy animation isn't actually that bad. Sure, it sucks that there's no music, sound effects, or dialogue in this video, and the animation isn't all that great, but it's definitely not the worst animation in the world. The lip syncing is pretty decent. The dialogue is much easier to read than Stick Figure Fighting Tournament 1, and it stays true to the original source material. Because of that, I'm going to give this video a 6 out of 10. Just like the Cars 3 Crash video, it's a video where you don't have to go see it immediately after this video, but if you want to watch it, go nuts. But the best thing about this animation is that it prompted me to create a much better video years later. So those are my thoughts on the 2017 Death of Purple Guy animation. Now for the next episode of NQ Archives, I'm going to leave the decision up to you guys. Right after this video is uploaded, I'm going to post a poll on the community tab so that you guys can vote on the next episode of NQ Archives. You guys get to choose between 3 options: The Chosen One's Swag Return, Stick Figure Fighting Tournament 2, or the Stickmania series. There's also, of course, the other option to put other ideas in the comments below. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of NQ Archives. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to vote for the next episode of NQ Archives right after this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys!